Hi guys, I'm back to read chapter 2 for you just in case you missed it or if you didn't hear it all the way through or whatever it is. I will read chapter 2 and then talk a little bit about it, okay? Chapter 2. Dink raced into the book nook. Josh and Ruth Rose were right behind him. They found 3 seats behind Tommy Tomko and Eddie Canary. Dink plopped his pack on the floor. The clock over the cash register said 3 minutes after 11. "Where is he?" Dink whispered to Tommy Tomko. Tommy turned around. "Beats me, but he's not here, and Mr. Paskey looks worried." "What's going on?" Ruth Rose said. Dink told her and Josh what Tommy had said. "Paskey does look pretty nervous," Josh whispered. "Mr. Paskey always looks nervous," Dink whispered back, looking around the room. He saw about 30 kids he knew. Miss Davis, Dink's neighbor, was looking at the gardening books. Dink checked out the other grown-ups in the store. None of them looked like a famous mystery writer. Mr. Paskey stood up. "Boys and girls, welcome to the book nook. Wallace Wallace should be here any second. How many of you brought books to be autographed?" Everyone waved their book in the air. "Wonderful! I'm sure Wallace Wallace will be happy to know that Green Lawn is a reading town." The kids clapped and cheered. Dink glanced at the clock. 5 past 11. He swallowed, trying to stay calm. Wallace Wallace was late, but it was only by 5 minutes. Slowly, 5 more minutes passed. Dink felt his palms getting damp. Where is Wallace Wallace? He wondered. Some of the kids started getting restless. Dink heard one of the kids say, "Whenever I'm late, I get grounded." "So where is he?" Josh asked. Ruth Rose looked at her watch. "It's only 10 after, she said. "Famous people are always late." Now Dink stared at the clock. The big hand jerked forward, paused, then wobbled forward again. At 11:15, Mr. Paskey stood up again. "I don't understand why Wallace Wallace is late," he said. Dink noticed that his bald head was shiny and with sweat. His bow tie was getting a workout. And remember, a workout with your bow tie is like he's moving it around and he's sweating. So I want you to kind of use your background knowledge to think about what that could mean. Mr. Paskey smiled bravely, but his eyes blinked like crazy through his thick glasses. "Shall we give him a few more minutes?" The crowd grumbled, but nobody wanted to go anywhere. Ruth Rose started to read her book. Josh opened his sketch pad and began drawing Mr. Paskey. Dink turned and stared at the door. He mentally ordered Wallace Wallace to walk through it. "You have to come," thought Dink. Here's a picture. There's Mr. Paskey in the middle. You can't see because of the crease, but he's working out that bow tie. He's moving around. Ever since he had received Wallace's letter, he'd thought about one thing: meeting him today. Suddenly, Dink felt his heart skip a beat. The letter! "Short of being kidnapped," the letter said. "Nothing will stop me from coming." Kidnapped! Dink shook himself. Of course Wallace Wallace hadn't been kidnapped. Mr. Paskey stood up again, but this time he wasn't smiling. "I'm sorry, kids," he said, "but Wallace Wallace doesn't seem to be coming after all." The kids groaned. They got up, scraping chairs and bumping knees. Mr. Paskey apologized to them as they crowded past, heading for the door. "I've read every single one of his books," Dink heard Amy Flowers said to another girl. "Now I'll probably never meet anyone famous." "I can't believe we gave up a soccer game for this," Tommy Tomko muttered to Eddie Canary on their way out. Ruth Rose and Josh were next, but Dink remained in his seat. He was too stunned to move. He felt the letter through his jeans. Short of being kidnapped. Finally, Dink got up and walked out. Josh and Ruth Rose were waiting for him. "What's the matter?" Ruth Rose said. "You look sick." "I am sick," Dink muttered. "I invited him here. It's all my fault." "What's your fault?" Josh asked. This, he said, thrusting the letter into Josh's hands. Wallace Wallace has been kidnapped. Okay, and that's the end of chapter 3. So what I want to, here is where we definitely learn the problem, right? Is that we don't know where Wallace Wallace is or why he's late. Now, we did talk in our group together that we have some suspects, right? We have Mr. Paskey as a suspect, because he was sweaty and he was working out that bow tie, and we said we used our background knowledge to tell us that maybe that means that he's nervous or guilty of something. We know that Ruth, Rose, Dink, and Josh are probably the detectives on this case, and our clue right now is we're thinking he's kidnapped because of Wallace Wallace's letter. It said, short of being kidnapped, I'll be there. Okay, so they're thinking that's why he's not there. So, we are going to continue reading this. You can look at my next video. Remember, I don't post until the end of the day so that we don't get too far ahead of the book and that we all stay together, okay? So, I will post the next video tomorrow for Chapter 3. Bye, guys. Have a great day.